Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back to the KaiNexus Continuous Improvement Podcast. I'm Mark Graban. We're joined today by Noah Paratore. He is a Senior Solutions Engineer at KaiNexus. We're going to learn why and when he joined the company and what some of his roles have been over time. So, Noah, thanks for being here. How are you?
Good. Great. Thanks for having me, Mark. So I'll just get into it. I joined KaiNexus all the way back in 2017, so it has been some time. I joined really right out of college. I graduated with a mechanical engineering degree, and really with that, mechanical engineering degree, it kept me on the mindset for focusing on like problem solving and technology, and that's really where a lot of my interests were. So I had what led me to KaiNexus was I had some insider connections within the company. And so that's kind of how I found the company. And, just off the bat, it seemed super interesting. And, it seemed like an amazing opportunity for me to grow professionally. And so luckily, they decided to give me a shot at being aboard the company. And, shortly after I started, I instantly fell in love with the company, kind of what it stood for, the software platform itself, and most importantly, the people I got and still get to work with very closely. They're full of an amazing crew of people. They're wildly talented, very hilarious, and working with them is probably the best part about my job here. So.
Well, I'm glad you had that inside connection because you are KaiNexian number 19, right? You have the backpack to prove it.
Yes. It's within the room here. Yeah, but
we believe you. You don't have to hold that up.
No worries.
Boy, at that point, being employee 19, KaiNexus didn't have a huge budget to go find talented people like yourself. So I'm glad that you had a way of knowing about KaiNexus. And a lot of people join the company without much knowledge of continuous improvement, but it resonates with them. Did you have some formal education about lean manufacturing or CI during college?
Yeah, so a little bit. I had some courses kind of touch on the Six Sigma and lean, ideologies and stuff like that. But kind of the whole idea of CI was really new to me, but it's really fascinating. And I kind of love that is starting at the company and just, Greg and everyone kind of, eating, breathing, living CI. It's cool to kind of adopt that. And it's really exciting to see where it's kind of seeped into my personal life and other areas that I've been able to apply it to.
Can I put you on the spot for an example?
Sure. A lot of it is with I would say my family relationships too. Just that and like friendships, always figuring out, a way to make those better. And I think, I've taken that in ways to, really critique myself and then been able to say, oh, well, what went wrong? And then how do I get better here? And, it's just a lot of self-critique there. So, but I've liked it that I've been able to like take that and think about it in a different way. And that's kind of attributed to KaiNexus.
Wow. So that's a really deep answer. Like the answer I would give is something like, I do a better job of not running out of toilet paper because I apply lean methods, sort of.
I try to take things and, help out in any way I can there. So,
yeah, well, I appreciate you applying and sharing, kind of that continuous improvement mindset to life and relationships. That's powerful. And, I think, the spirit of continuous improvement, is really strong within KaiNexus. And I think, you mentioned that, but I'm curious if you'd share something else. Like when you talk about the things that the company stands for and like what most resonates with you, even after, this time with the company.
A great thing that I've seen is, KaiNexus really makes you feel heard. I came in and knew almost nothing. And I really, through pure dedication and, passion. I tried my best to kind of be a sponge when I started, and it was just soaking up everything. It was from, learning to speak better and more confidently on customer calls to kind of knowing the ins and outs of the platform, which is really kind of another point of, where I found joy here at KaiNexus, is just learning what the software can do, what it can't do. I mean, KaiNexus is the platform itself is incredibly powerful, and there's tons and tons of configuration options. And it still is my job to kind of know all of that and how it works. And I just try my best, and I really get some joy out of being able to know all that information.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure one reason you've learned a lot beyond the effort and the passion for this is the progression, the different roles that you've had. Can you kind of talk us through a little bit about the roles and how that's evolved and how you've grown through that, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I've had quite the journey. I started, of course, as just a plain old solutions engineer that kind of worked very closely with the customer experience team. KaiNexus needed this more technical role that knew the ins and outs about the platform, and it was like this transition between, the customer success and the product development team. We needed kind of the tier above that. Shortly after, I kind of adopted some responsibilities from the support position. So it was very technical in fielding questions, updating support documentation, which is a beast of itself. But I like to think that it helped me grow in the fact that I was able to kind of understand things very meticulously, and then be able to kind of document that out, write that out, communicate that out effectively, which I see the silver lining in all of that hard work and the support. Then it was just kind of focusing more on the solutions engineering and really kind of deepening those relationships we have with customers. So I've been on a lot of our customer calls. We're treating more as partners now, and I actually like that because I developed that relationship with the customers. So it's me and the customer success manager, and we have that partnership, and I do all the kind of technical work for them in the background, and it develops that trust and that relationship with them, which I really kind of like. So.
And is it correct to say you are the original KaiNexpert?
Maybe not the original, but definitely one of. I have been, humbly dubbed as one of the KaiNexperts locally, so the product experts. So very, a term that is hard to come by. So it's definitely with a high head that I hold that title, and I hope to kind of share that with the rest of my team as well as all of KaiNexus. I like to say that because I came in knowing almost nothing about KaiNexus, and I've gotten this far to be KaiNexpert status, it really leads me to think that almost anyone can be a KaiNexpert. So there's hope out for everyone watching.
Yeah, so. And I know you're lifting others up into the realm of KaiNexpert, so I appreciate that.
I definitely try to help where I can, but my team is very smart, very intelligent people. So
yeah. Well, Noah, one final question for you before we wrap up here. You talked about the people at KaiNexus and how they are, generally hilarious people. So my question for you is, are you the funniest in the gemba?
Oh, man. It really depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you.
Yeah. I would love to be dubbed funniest in the gemba, but I work with plenty of hilarious people, and they make me laugh all the time. So I would love to take the credit for funniest in the gemba, but I feel like I lose that battle every day with how hard I'm laughing on some of our internal calls. So I will humbly, decline the accusation, but I hope other people would disagree and think I'm funny too. So
it sounds like it's open for maybe endless debate.
yeah, I mean, maybe we put another poll out there. People will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, let's take a vote to it. See if I still, at least make the top 5.
Yeah. And that word gemba, I think most people listening probably know the jargon of talking about, the workplace. I mean, that word has, kind of its own meaning or a specific meaning to KaiNexus, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have a room in our office that kind of we refer to as the gemba. But yeah, that's, where the work happens. We all gather there, and I mean, even in the old days when we had kind of that smaller office back then, it was really where all the work happened. It was where the conversation happened, the communication. I mean, we're growing now, but I like that we still have that core, gemba work area there. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely the kind of central part for KaiNexus there.
Yeah. Well, Noah, thank you for joining us here today and telling us about some of your journey of, why you joined and the enthusiasm for being at KaiNexus shines through. And, thanks for sharing a little bit about your role. This has been fun.
Thanks, Mark, so much for having me.
Thank you.